a weekly football show with the head coaches at Danville, Boyle, Mercer, Garrett, and Lincoln counties. The Center College head coach, plus an update from the UK football coach. The Pigskin Report. Brought to you by DQ Happy Tastes Good. Intercounty Energy, a Touchstone Energy cooperative. State Farm Insurance, here to help life go right. Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky. Jobmaster Rental, let them help master your job. CC Auto Parts and Service, an Auto Value Certified Service Center. Now, with the DQ Pigskin Report, here are your hosts, Rick Schobel and Joe Mathis.
Well, he's halfway right.
And I'm not Rick Schobel.
Yeah, Super Dave is here with us tonight, and Radio Rick is taking off.
Oh, I had to do it one time.
You're filling Radio Rick's spot because Rick has taken off and is enjoying, I'm sure, like 90-degree temperatures right now wherever he is, and left us with 30 degrees and snow on the ground.
Yeah.
So he's in for a culture shock when he gets back from wherever he is right now.
Well, when he gets back, it'll probably be a little bit warmer.
That is true. It's supposed to be in the near 70s this weekend, so maybe he'll bring that warm weather back with him. We're live here at the Harrisburg Dairy Queen. It is home of the DQ Pigskin Report. We're so happy to have you aboard this evening talking high school and college football with us. It was an overall good week for us. Went 5-2 with our 7 teams. UK with a massive win.
Great win. And you were there for it.
I was there. Jack was there, too, dancing in the aisles. Stomped Florida. Center College with a win. Stomped Sewanee. Lincoln County with a win. Stomped Perry County Central. Garrett County lost 43-36. A touchdown with 3.5 minutes left by DeSales. Gave DeSales the win over Garrett County. Boyle, easy win. Danville looked like they were cruising to a win and then gave up 18 unanswered in the second half, but did hold on. 20-18 was the final score of that one. So Mercer County, I was listening to the post-game show driving home. Me and Jack went to the game Saturday. Jack had a blast. I had a blast. They said on the post-game show, I'm going to make sure I try to get this correct, the biggest SEC win for UK football since 1998. It's the biggest SEC win for UK football over a team not named Vanderbilt, I think since 1974.
Was it 79 or 74?
It may have been 79. And then it was the largest win over Florida since whatever the year was UK won the national championship in like 1955 or something like that. So it keeps on, like the further back you go, the more you see just how dominant UK was in that win over Florida Saturday. And let's talk with Jeff Pecoro, the UK radio color commentator. And Jeff, you talk about a perfect night, great weather, a great crowd, and a great performance by the Cats versus Florida on Saturday.
Yeah, that was a very enjoyable game to watch. You know, when you've got a team that's playing to that caliber and you're just shutting down the other team, it kind of lets you know what it's like maybe to call games for Alabama or Ohio State or somebody like that. It was pretty cool.
Yes, 4 turnovers forced, Jeff. You had 3 picks. You had a fumble recovery. You look at the last 2 weeks. Kentucky gave up 3 to Auburn last week. They gave up 7 this past Saturday, and that was only because of a muffed punt. Jeff, the defense is phenomenal the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and a depleted defense. I mean, Alex Safari went off. You know, you're down. DJ Waller really didn't play. Lovett got hurt in the first quarter. Alex Safari got hurt in the first quarter, and you go the whole rest of the game, and still. And Tavian Gadsden didn't even suit up. So you're down 4 of your best players, and you still did that. That's amazing.
Yeah, the rushing attack, 220-plus on the ground. Yep. Dante Dowdell had a phenomenal game. Jeff, tell us, offensively speaking, like Bush Hamden he's had some criticism thrown his way. What about the game he called on Saturday?
Well, let me go back just a second. And when you talk about the offensive line, you basically have 3 new starters in there, right? And Jagger Burton moving to center. It takes time for them to gel. Offensive line is almost like dancing. Everybody has to be in the right step, and it's a very fluid movements by those guys, right? So you got 3 guys that are coming in that are brand new to this, and it just simply took them time to gel with each other. And now you're seeing, there was some sensational blocking up front against a big Florida front, and they open up great holes. I thought they controlled the line of scrimmage, even on both sides of the ball. And to answer your second question, or talk about Bush, yes, I think him and Cutter have gotten on the same page. They've thrown out the stuff that they kind of tailored the first couple games for Zach, and now this is what Cutter likes to do, get the ball out quickly. He'll run if he has to, but, I really think this is the type of offense that they wanted to play from the start, and now they're comfortable with it, and they're just growing each game.
Coach, sorry. I've been interviewing high school coaches. Jeff, you got Tennessee Tech now coming up, and this is a very good Tennessee Tech team, right? But Kentucky, when was the last time you felt this type of momentum for Kentucky football after back-to-back games?
Well, yeah, you're exactly right. Well, back when they won, a couple of years ago when they won 10 games, that's kind of the same thing. When they had Josh Allen and Benny Snell and those type of guys. But I just hope there's not a letdown because this is not a SEC team. You know what I mean? But this is one of the better, if not, one of the top 10 teams. They've been in the top 10 all year in the bowl subdivision. So it's not going to be an easy game that all these people think because they have stuff to prove to the players in blue and white.
Yeah, this Tennessee Tech team is 10-0. They have put up some points this year, 65, 45, 72, 66, 52. Jeff, what do you expect to see out of this Tennessee Tech offense?
Well, explosiveness. They get big plays. They can go down the field. They can run the football. I think it's going to be a real test for this defense. I think what has to happen for Kentucky is they, again, and I sound like a broken record, have to control the line of scrimmage, the defensive line. And again, you do that with size and with depth. And I think that's what Kentucky does. And this might be a close game for the first half. And then if Kentucky can impose their will on both sides of the line of scrimmage, I think there could be some separation. But whenever you have a team that has big play capabilities, they're always in the game. So even if, let's say, Kentucky gets up early by 7 or 10 or 14 points, you cannot take your foot off the gas. You have to bury them because they have the ability, as you just read those scores, to score 40 or 50 like that.
Jeff, I want to know, mentally speaking, mentality. I know that Tennessee Tech obviously is not an SEC opponent. They're still very talented, but UK, I'm not a player in the locker room, but they see now they're 4-5. They beat Tennessee Tech on Saturday. You get one of the last two, it almost feels like miraculously you got a bowl game to play for now, right? So, even...
No, I was just going to say, the guys were talking about that last week. They were saying, if we beat Florida, we've got a great chance to go to a bowl game. And they did, and now they do. You got 3 games left, right? And I wouldn't say you have to have the mentality that you want to run the rest of the schedule.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, Jeff, what's the keys for Kentucky's win on Saturday? It's I think a 12 noon kickoff, the early kickoff there at Kroger Field. What do the Cats need to do right on Saturday to pick up that 5th win?
Yeah, I think it's control the line of scrimmage, put pressure on their quarterback. Don't let him sit back there and throw the ball. I think that they'll be able to do that. And if they can get the lead, then don't ease up, And again, you're up 38-7 against Florida, and they just, ran the ball to run out the game. I understand that. But against a team like this that can score, you've got to put them away early, and because the more they hang around, the more they think they can play with you.
That's Jeff Pecoro, the UK color commentator, and UK and Tennessee Tech will play Saturday. I did misspeak. I said 12 with Jeff. It is a 1:30 kickoff, 11:30 pregame. Either way, afternoon game at Kroger Field, and a big one for the Cats against a very formidable Tennessee Tech team that is 10-0. And we mentioned the offense, astronomical for Tennessee Tech. So we'll see how the Cats do. But I think Kentucky knows. I don't know if there's such a thing as a trap game anymore because Kentucky knows they've got to have this one, right? So it's not like they're going to overlook Tennessee Tech because there is that chance now at a bowl game. Yeah. And you got to beat Tennessee Tech. If you don't, you make it super hard on yourself versus Louisville and Vanderbilt. So I don't know if trap game is even the right word to say for it. I think Kentucky knows what's at stake now.
Well, you look at it. They beat Louisville at Louisville the last time.
Oh, yeah, Mark Stoops owns Louisville. Yeah. And they will be at Louisville, and you couple that with the fact that Louisville lost to Cal on Saturday, essentially ending their chances at a playoff. So maybe you go into that game, Louisville feels like, well, we have a chance at a playoff. Our season, quote-unquote, is over now in that regard. Maybe they don't play Kentucky as tough, but it doesn't matter. Kentucky's got to beat Tennessee Tech first on Saturday. They go to Vanderbilt the following Saturday, then Louisville to end the season. We're live here at the Harrodsburg Dairy Queen. Rebecca and Jack and Truett and Rayleigh were here. The Padre is here as well, finishing off an ice cream cone. Super Dave is here. And I'm here as well. Joe Mathis alongside Super Dave. We're live at the Harrodsburg DQ for the Pigskin Report on 103.9 FM WHIR, 99.5 FM WHBN, and hometownlive.net.
Intercounty Energy wants you to put safety first when you're working outside. Always look up to see if there are overhead power lines, and be sure to stay clear of them. For safety's sake, always hire a professional to trim trees instead of doing it yourself. Remember, a tree limb cut in the wrong place could fall on a power line and cause you a world of hurt. If you do decide to do the work yourself, always protect your eyes and hands by wearing safety glasses and gloves. Intercounty Energy cares about your safety. Look up, be alert, and stay safe.
Great! See, we're practically sitting on the field. If you could sit here.
Your food and drinks will be right over.
Oh, yes! For the same price as way up here. Great seats. Right up here with a blimp. Why wouldn't you? It's the same with auto insurance. With discounts up to 40%, it's possible to get the personal service of a State Farm agent for the same or less than those other guys.
See your State Farm agent in Harrodsburg, David Hopewell, and Randy Couch.
Hear every play.
Ball's knocked loose. Picked up by Kentucky.
We're excited about this team.
Hear every hit.
All out blitz. Boom!
It's an exciting time.
Hear every touchdown.
He's throwing deep. He got it. Touchdown! Touchdown! Kentucky!
Kentucky football.
We're ready to go.
On the UK Sports Network.
Z105, your home for the Cats and the hits, is WRNZ FM Z105. Go Cats!
And now, back to the DQ Pigskin Report.
Joe Mathis alongside Super Dave and the Padre. And we're having a blast talking high school football. We talked about Kentucky-Louisville football coming up at the end of the year. Kentucky-Louisville basketball is tomorrow. It's a 6:30 pregame. 8 o'clock tip-off for that one on Z105 Kentucky and Louisville tomorrow night. Let's go back to the college ranks and talk with Center College head football coach Andy Fry. And, Coach, it sure makes life a lot easier when you pitch a shutout as you beat Sewanee 28-0.
Yeah, it's always good to win, one. And two is, quite honestly, I think the scout teams that we put together for that week did an outstanding job running their offense, and that was able to give us an opportunity for a shutout. Our special teams, other than our kicking, our special teams did about as well as you could. I mean, we ran back a kickoff, and then we did run back a punt, but the game ended. But I thought we played well on those ends, and we're trying to get better every week.
Yeah,
we can do.
It was 13-0 at the half. How big was that to start off the second half with a bang like that? Cree Ross, 98-yard kickoff return.
Yeah, he's probably. I think right now he's in Division III, the top kickoff returner with yards and yards per average. So, and people don't realize he's run 3 of them back, and 2 of them have been called back. So really, he's run 5. So he's not bad.
Yeah.
You give him some space, it'll be all over.
Hey, the Lexington Catholic connection, Jack Goman and is it Blake Buisson? Is that how you say his last name?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Correct. And Blake just broke the career receiving yards.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
We've had some great wide receivers, and he's pretty close to 100 yards that he'll have the season record for most receiving yards. So. You think about it. He's only started 2 years, and he's already broke the record. We've had some great wide receivers in the past. Jalen Hibbs played in the Hula Bowl, one of only 2 Division III football players. He was an outstanding receiver. Jordan Gunter started for 4 years and on our great football teams. And so, Blake Blake's had a nice career, and obviously Jack has too.
Yeah, he's 22 yards away now, Coach, from 2,500 in his career. And
wow.
Your defense did limit Sewanee, 112 total yards, just 22 passing yards in that 28-0 win, Coach. Let's play a little Center College trivia real quick. Last time Center College posted a shutout, do you remember when that was?
No, I don't. But I think you do.
I do. It's not as far back as you probably think. It was the COVID-shortened 2021 season. You actually, it looks like you all played in like the late winter, early spring that year, correct?
Yeah, that's right. It might have been against Rhodes.
It was. It was the season opener on February 13th. You beat Rhodes 30-0 that game. The last time you had a shutout.
Yeah, that's true. I never thought about that. Yeah, well, that COVID year, when you think COVID, Joe, that's a dark hole. I have to think before or after COVID because I don't remember anything.
Yeah. Speaking of Rhodes, you finished the season off with Rhodes. This Saturday, it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You're down at Rhodes, down in Memphis. What do you know, Coach, about this Rhodes offense?
Well, they've struggled. They've had some injuries. They had a really good quarterback early in the year, and he was a senior, and he was injured. So they're kind of trying to find themselves right now. They do have some. They have a good running back. I think they've got some wideouts that can make plays, but they're just struggling. You know how that is. You can see glimpses of some good football. And if we don't play well, obviously we're going to be in a dogfight. And I think that's where they are. Defensively they play hard. They're I wouldn't say they're vanilla. I think they know what they are, and they're just going to stick with it. They got a new defensive coordinator. I can see that next year they'll be better in what they're doing. So they've got a good corner. I like him, and they've got one defensive end. I think we better keep an eye on. We need to make sure that we protect, with him.
Yeah, you mentioned there are times they have looked good this year. They won their second game of the year, 31-17. They've lost 7 straight since then, but games where they've scored 28. They've scored 22 in back-to-back games, but then games as well. They've lost 63-0. They lost their season opener 49-0. So it's been really hit or miss, I guess, for them this year.
Yeah, it is, and anything can get away with it. I've said that about our season. We up until last week, our 5 losses, they were 35-5. They're all, and we had our opportunities to win. So I know how they feel. It's like I said, we're so close, yet we feel sometimes far away. I'm sure they think that same way too.
It is senior day for them, Coach. Final game of the regular season. What do you want to see out of your Center College Colonels on Saturday to get this final win against Rhodes?
Well, what I hope is for our seniors, they're very disappointed in this year. We had came off a conference championship and played in the playoffs last year in the second round, and played a really good Carnegie Mellon team and played them up all the way up to the top. And we had a lot of our guys back, and it's just one of those years that, every game there's like 4 plays that, if they had been different, we'd be sitting in a win column right now, maybe even in a position to be in the playoffs again. So saying all that, I want our seniors to feel like, okay, this last game, we leave a legacy for the underclassmen. Just give them something. One thing about the Sewanee game, you could tell our kids, the joy was back. They were having a blast playing, and that's what I want to see happen, for our football team.
Center College head football coach Andy Fry. Again, Colonels will not qualify for the playoffs, but I do have a chance to end their season with a win next Saturday after shutting out Sewanee 28-0. Appreciate Coach Fry joining us, and we'd love to have you come join us as well. Super Dave got the Bacon Ranch Backyard Burger. I got the double cheese deluxe, and the burgers today, they put like extra sauce on them. They were like messy in a good way, like licking the mayonnaise and ketchup off your fingers messy. And we both got onion rings as a side, so we're feeling good. Super Dave's got a Snickers Blizzard in front of him. I polished Jack's Snickers Blizzard off, so Feeling good here at the Harrisburg Dairy Queen. Come join us talking high school football.
We're happy tastes good.
Yes, happy does taste good.
Yeah.
Certainly does here. We talked college. We got UK. We got center. Let's drop down to the high school ranks. And Lincoln County head football coach Levi Rogers joins us. And Coach Rogers, tell you what, sure is good to have Cash Smith back, isn't it?
Yeah. Cash played really well. It's good to see him. He just keeps getting more and more healthy here these last couple weeks. And, last game he really kind of showed out and kind of had that burst of speed back. He's getting back to full speed. So, great to see him running really well. Once again, offensive line kind of dominated. And it makes it a little easier when you got Cash because instead of going 10 yards at a time, he can take it from anywhere. So I was happy to see him come back.
You got kind of, for lack of a better phrase, Coach, an embarrassment of riches in the backfield. Reed Curlis has played so well for you in times. Damon Spiegel had a massive game for you last week, and now Cash Smith this week. You got all kinds of different guys back there you can hand the ball off to.
Yeah, 3 really good running backs that are more than capable, and then running behind the line that we keep bringing up week in and week out. It's a really good, group for us. And then when everybody really keys in on it, Tucker's more than capable of pulling it and keeping it around the edges and some different things we do there too. So, pretty comfortable with how our run game's been, and we're going to need it this Friday.
Another athletic guy you got, Bryce Bob Floyd, scored a pick six, scored a touchdown catch from Tucker Foster. What about the game Bob had for you?
Yeah, just another week for Bob. He's done it week in and week out for us. We rely on him in the pass game really heavy, and then we've been talking about his special teams plays, and then he comes up with a pick six on defense the other night. We usually put him on the other team's best player, so, another huge week for Bob.
Coach, I like my stats. 49 points scored for you all in that first round opening playoff win. Ties the Lincoln County school record for most points scored in a playoff game in school history. Of course, that dates back to the consolidation year in 1974. It ties the 2021 Lincoln Patriots, who also put up 49 in a playoff win. So a little bit of school history you tied there, Coach.
Yeah, it's good to hear. Anytime we go, we're getting into those record books and stuff, which this team has a little bit this year, it feels good, and I'm happy for these guys because they've put a lot of work in. They've played a lot of football, so, credit to all the guys on the team.
Coach, you're heading to Corbin on Friday night to take on a very good Red Hounds team. Offensively speaking, they have been on fire basically all year long, but especially the last month and a half or so. They've scored 47 or more in 4 of their last 5 games. The one they didn't was last week's 35-0 running clock win over Russell County. What do you expect to see out of the Corbin Red Hounds offense?
They're explosive. The quarterback's a good player. They're really good up front. And then they have number 12, the E-step kid. They always got an E-step down there. But
yeah, they do.
He can fly, and, big plays all over the place from him. He can take the bubble screens to the distance, and then he'll run some posts and some deep patterns right past your guys. So we got to know where 12's at because they're explosive. The quarterback throws it well, and then when you cover them up, the quarterback, he's a really good runner too. So, they're a really good football team all the way around. And, like you said, it seems like on the films that they're really starting to get it going at the right time here.
Yeah, they are very talented in the defensive backfield as well. 10 picks this year. 3 of those have been taken back for touchdowns. What do you expect to see out of the Corbin Red Hound defense?
They're good on the back end, but what stands out to me with the defense is their defensive line. They got the Malachi Brown kid out there on the edge who's got offers from everybody. Any college you can think of, he's got an offer from him. He's a really good player. And then the Petrowski kid's on the other end. I think he's got multiple D1 offers too, really big kid. So defensive line's extremely aggressive and gets after you, So if you struggle to block them, which most people have, it creates a lot of problems. And then, I think that's where they get their turnovers on the back end. So